Hey everyone, it's Jody here for FT Real on Wednesday. And this week's topic we are talking about lesbians that date trans guys or are attracted to trans guys. And I think for this topic it's really for me coming down to respecting identities and bodies and having like a fetish. Is it a fetish attraction? For the first one, respecting identities. One, do you respect that individual's identity as a male? Meaning lesbians identify as lesbians. From my knowledge, from every lesbian I know, they're attracted to females. They're not attracted to guys, to male identifying people. So that would go into, are you attracted like their super butchness, pre-T, and you're just not taking into consideration once this individual starts hormones and all of those changes that are going to occur with facial hair, body hair, voice changing, and your identity is going to change because people are then going to perceive you as being straight, and this individual is going to eventually want you to be like, I'm your boyfriend, I'm not your fucking girlfriend. Plain and simple. Respecting your own identity, if you're attracted to trans guys, then maybe the lesbian label isn't necessarily a good fit for you anymore, and that's okay. I think that identities can change over time. So maybe we should reevaluate ourselves first and then figure out why we're attracted, as it goes back to the butchness of the situation. Maybe you're attracted to something else about them. Maybe that chemistry of pheromones. Maybe that's interplaying after you meet somebody and they've started hormones. I don't know. About their body, are you attracted to them because you might have known them pre-T and now T is happening and you're not seeing a lot of changes. So you're still attracted to their maleness, like their butchness, and you're like, well, I could totally do this because of your body. I know that you have a female body and I'm into female bodies. But why is that always a factor? Because I know that I don't want to have sex as lesbians have sex. I want to have sex as a guy would have sex because I identify as a guy. So you also have to take that into consideration, is that there's no scissoring going on when you have sex with me, and I think a lot of other trans guys could possibly feel the same way, but it just depends on the individual as well. So is it just the body? Like, are you just attracted because there might possibly be no modification upstairs and no modification downstairs? So you're like, oh, well, you have a female body, but that's not respecting their identity as an individual either. So it goes back to respecting their identity. And then once you start T, if you're attracted to somebody pre-T, and then, T starts occurring, you have to be ready for the physical changes as well as the chemical changes in that individual, because from my friend's personal experience, she dated a trans guy, pre-T and prior to T, about 3 to 6 months into it. It's kind of fuzzy right now on their time frame. But she identified as queer in the beginning when she was dating this individual. And they had a lot of good sexual chemistry. Their pheromones were totally meshing. And after T, about 3 to 6 months into it, their chemical chemistry didn't match up anymore. They just weren't meshing anymore with their pheromones. And so that was one reason why they broke up, was because they just weren't sexually interested in each other anymore. Like, he was still interested in her. She was not sexually interested in him because of that chemical change that's going to occur that I don't think people realize occurs afterwards. Everything else was okay, but it was like that underlying attraction perspective. Outside of that, I think that's about it, for my perspective. I think it goes back to, do you respect your identity? Do you respect that individual's identity? And the reasons why, the underlying reasons why you're attracted to trans guys or why you want to date trans guys really comes into play for myself and maybe for a lot of other people. I don't know. And there's one other thing that I want to add on this topic of lesbians being attracted to trans guys. Is the sexual fetish portion of it. Is it because you want to try it out and see if you're going to enjoy it based on their body, based on their male persona? or how they dress, anything like that with their maleness. For myself, if somebody was to walk up to me and be like, I want to try this out because I've never been with a trans guy, I would probably tell you get the fuck out of my face. Because you're not respecting me on any level at all. As like a person, my identity as an individual male. And I don't think you're respecting yourself at that point. So if you come at me with something like that, I'm probably going to look at you like you're crazy. Now, if you're walking to me like, hey, I identify as a lesbian, but I have this attraction to you and I don't really know why, can I get to know you? Okay, that's completely fine. You know, maybe you're questioning yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning who you are at any point in time, because we were all there at once. We all thought that we were, maybe a lesbian, and now, we identify as a male, or maybe we were awkward kids we didn't know where the fuck we were. It's hard to say. But if you just want to try it out, or it's just because you're into their female body, I think that's all a fetish kind of perspective, and that's just not cool. Because you have to take into consideration the entire individual's being of male and what that means for them to identify as a male in society and respect that. And it also depends on the individual, because somebody might be totally cool with, you experimenting with them, and stuff like that, or you walking up and being into that for whatever reasons. But just don't walk up to somebody and say that you want to try them out, because would you walk up to a straight guy and be like, hey, I want to try you out because you're just a straight guy? No, you probably wouldn't say that to somebody. You'd probably just approach it as like a neutral human being approaching another neutral human being and seeing what happens from there. For a lot of other people, I don't know. If you guys have any comments below, go and leave them. If you happen to be a lesbian that stumbles upon this, that is attracted to trans guys, or has dated a trans guy, or wants to date a trans guy, give me some feedback. I'd like to get some more of your own personal insight on this topic. All right, I will see you guys later in 2 weeks. Later.